Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night. We're coming back after possibly the best episode in the series so far, which was, oh goodness, why did that take me so long? The school fight scene with Shinji and Rider, absolutely insane. I had some great comments kind of talking about it, and how it was like an excellent build-up that kind of finally exploded into that scene. And I'm really excited to see what they do with from there. So let's just go ahead and jump back into the game. Oh, we're on a fresh day. That's convenient. I still sometimes just expect it to crackle at me. I'm having a bad dream. My injured body wants to sleep deeply, but my mind is still buried in that scene, and I can't fall into a deep sleep. My still injured body is burning, and my mind that cannot mourn enough is still burning too. I might be having a nightmare. As I doze, I see a dream in my unclear mind. How many victims were there? Osaka said nobody died, but that's only from the outside. Having had their life sucked out by force, there will certainly be after effects, long-term physical abilities, and mental damage from lack of oxygen. There were even students that had their skin melted. That scar is something that will stay with them for the rest of their lives, even if it heals. He knows how that is. He's kind of been through something like that. Even when it heals, it never really heals. When it physically heals, it doesn't mentally heal. So, Shinji just permanently damaged, like, that entire school. And I feel like he's not gonna just roll with that. My body hurts. My almost dead, no, my absolutely dead body convulses. It was unfortunate for everyone involved, but you still did well. You were able to stop the disaster in exchange for a wound you would normally die from. There's nothing to mourn or to be ashamed of. The pain tells me to quietly fall asleep for now. No, I can't deceive myself with such reasoning. It makes no difference to the fact that the disaster occurred while I was there, but I couldn't do anything. I say I saved lives, but oh man, don't get yourself down too much, bro. You did well, man. At the same time, I couldn't save anybody. If that was just a mistake, if it had never happened, I bet my mind and my body could go to sleep peacefully. I'm pissed off. It's ridiculous for my mind to grumble about such a thing. There are no miracles like that. It's a great insult to want to go back and redo things just because I think they're inconvenient and disastrous. It's impossible to take something that has already happened and make it so that it didn't happen. It's impossible, and more importantly, it shouldn't be done. That's why I can't pretend the event didn't happen. There's only one thing I can do. If I hate the scene I still see even now, I should just act to prevent it from ever happening again. Sleep ends here. My body comes later. If my body moves, get up and run. If no one getting hurt is the ideal I aim for, I should do so until the point of my death. Oh, good lord. He is steadfast in these ideals, huh? He absolutely is not accepting, like, what happened. And I feel like it is going to make him a much more active force, right? Because he might realize that to keep things like this from happening, he has to actively prevent it, right? Because this time, he did well, right? But and he saved lives. But to him, it's kind of like how his life was saved. He forever remembers that fire. And while he is alive, right, he's forever affected by it. That's kind of... He realized he was... Just woke up. He was that kind of hero. He wasn't the kind that... He was the superhero who came into the burning building and saved everyone. But he thinks that he still failed, right? and that he might realize the only way to not fail in his eyes is to prevent the whole thing to begin with, which requires him to be an active force. So this could very well be a large mentality shift, I'd say. I open my eyes. I take a deep breath and draw air into my lungs. The cold winter air takes away my drowsiness and uneasiness. Habit is a great thing. It's only a bit past 6 o'clock. Maybe my body has healed quite well already, as I'm awake at my usual time.
Yes.
I get up and fold up the futon. During that normal action, a sharp pain runs through my left arm as if there's a crack in my bone. You say as if there isn't. There probably is one. Bro. Bro thought he was Wolverine for a second. Thought he was already healed. And all that's left is this pain. It's much better than when I got my stomach slashed by Berserker a few days ago. That was just a few days ago, wasn't it? At that time, my body was so weak that the nausea was worse than the pain. Good Lord, man. All this yawning. I'm gonna reread that one. At that time, my body was so weak that the nausea was worse than the pain. I go out into the hallway. The sunlight is gloomy and offers no energy. The weather is very cloudy, like it's going to rain.
シロ、目が覚めたのですか？
ああ、今目が覚めた。そういうセイバーこそ今朝は早いんだな。いつもならまだ眠ってる時間じゃないか。
Yeah, it's unusual for Saber to be awake before breakfast is ready.
シロ、私とて好きで眠っているわけではありません。私が朝食まで眠っているのは単に魔力を温存するためだと言ったはずです。
That doesn't change the point.
その、いかにも普段から寝過ごしているという物言いはやめてほしい。
Okay, fair. That doesn't change the point that you do normally sleep that, long.
なんでさ、別にそんなつもりで言ってないぞ、俺。単にこんな早起きしていいのかって思っただけだ。
ほう、そうですか。私が早起きするのはおかしいと。
Yeah, it kind of is. Saber sounds cranky. Yeah, maybe she needs to wake up later. Golly. Is it just me? It seems Saber is stricter today. Or should I say she's unreserved?
いや、おかしいとかじゃなくていいのかなって。セイバーが頻繁に眠らなくちゃいけないのは俺のせいだ。だから今朝もできる限り眠っていないといけないんじゃないのか。
当然です。ですが、それはあくまで待機状態に過ぎません。私が眠っていたのは緊急時に備えてのもの。今の状態で眠るのは道理にかなわないではないですか。
That makes sense given the situation.
道理にかなわないってなんで？別に今は誰とも戦ってないし、襲われてもいないぞ。
いえ、ですからそれは。
Saber is unclear as if there's something she doesn't want to say.
いいけど、今は緊急ってわけじゃないんだし、出かけるまで眠っていた方がいい。朝飯ができたら呼びに行くから、それまで力を温存しといてくれ。今日一日、セイバーの力を借りることになるんだから。
He's so casual about the fact that he's just like an active force now. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go fight people today. Yeah, let's get ready. I head towards the kitchen.
待ってください、シロ。
なんだよ、セイバー。他に何か。
あなたは今何をすると言いましたか？
It was so casual, she didn't pick up on it for a second. I guessed without realizing. Even though she's asking me a question, Saber glares at me as if not letting me answer.
そもそもあなたは安静にしなければいけない体でしょう。朝食の支度など凛がします。シロが優先すべきことは部屋で休み、体を癒すことです。それが分かっていないとは言わせません。
It's not that he doesn't understand, it's that he doesn't care.
Saber.
Saber sounds strict because she is concerned about my body.
部屋に戻ってください、シロ。眠りが必要なのは私ではなくあなたの方です。
You got him there. She might be able to read my mind as she glares at me even harder. But still, I can't let Shinji go.
いや、部屋には戻らない。もう十分休んだし、やらなくちゃいけないことがあるだろう。準備ができたら街に出よ セイバー、今日中にシンジを捕まえるんだ。
なぜですか？今日中にライダーのマスターを捕らえる理由などありません。戦うのならシロウの傷が癒えてからにするべきです。
それは違う、セイバー。順番で言うなら俺の体なんて後回しだ。
Yes. Yeah, I feel like he might call out that, of all people, Saber might get that one.
そんな暇はないんだ。シンジのやつが何をするかはお前だってわかるだろう。またあんな結界を張られる前にあいつからライダーを切り離す。サーバントが
昨日のような犠牲者を出したくないというのですか？ライダーのマスターを倒すのではなく、ただそれだけのために戦うと。
Yeah, definitely.
そんなことはない。シンジには責任を取らせる。そのためにはライダーを倒さなくちゃいけないだけだ。
I suppose it's just a bit of both.
それに犠牲者を出さないために行動するなんていうのは当たり前だろ。そんなこと戦う理由以前の問題だ。
そうですか。マスターがそう言うのなら私は従うだけですが。
Okay. Guess we fighting. We're trying at least.
シンジを探す？別に文句はないけど、ちゃんと勝ち目があって言ってるんでしょうね、シロ。
Definitely helps. After breakfast, Tosaka reacts as soon as I declare that I can't let Shinji go.
勝ち目ってシンジに対してか？
そうよ。前もって言っとくけど、賞賛もないくせに他のマスターに手を出す気だったなんて言ったら笑うわよ。
Brutal, but fair.
ああ、
Damn it. Now that she says that, I've only thought about stopping Shinji, never about how to do so.
ちょっと、エミヤくん、本気？
Awkward.
すまん。笑ってくれ。
うわ、悪いけど笑えないわ、今の冗談。
I don't think it's a joke, Tosaka. She reacts like that, she'll make me realize how stupid I am.
セイバー、あんたのマスターはこんなんだけど、あなた自身はどうなの？ライダーと戦うことに異論はないわけ？
ライダーと戦うだけならば問題はありません。彼女の能力は確認済みです。
Yeah, she was not very good compared to Saber.
それはシロ本人も分かっていると思います。何しろライダーと直接対峙したのですから。
Yeah, and we came out alive, so that says probably a pretty decent amount about Rider.
ああ、そうだっけ。なら、シロにもライダーがどの程度かは分かっているんだ。
Osaka inquires with her eyes. She must be asking about Rider's strength. Certainly, I have a grasp of it. I don't know if it's because I have a contract with a servant or because of my command spell, but even though she's not my servant, if I see her fight, I can put numbers to her abilities. Rider herself wasn't a superior servant.
ライダーはセイバーほど強くない。1対1の戦いならまず負けはしないと思う。
Yeah, they'd need their own alliance. Like, Shinji would need to be allied with somebody to pull that one off.
そうなんだ。なら、ちゃんと賞賛はあるんじゃない。シンジは魔術師じゃないから、ライダーはマスターからの支援を受けられない。必然的にセイバーとライダーの一騎打ちになるものね。
And perhaps a one-on-one between Shinji and, Shiro, but we saw how that went last time. When Rider was out of the picture, he, like, slashed some shadows after dodging a bunch. He went and broke Shinji's arm and just about choked him to death, so, you know. I don't think Shinji's exactly looking for a rematch there. Just like Tosaka says, as long as Shinji is her master, Rider has to fight by herself. There should be no disadvantage for Saber.
何よ、気の乗らない顔して。何か問題でもあるっていうの？
ああ、いいかトサカ。それだけ戦力的に上回ったセイバーに追い詰められていたのに、ライダーはシンジを連れて逃げ延びたんだ。あれはライダーの宝具だったと思うんだが。
The arrow of light that trampled through the hallway. Yeah, we might need to use that to, like, get her identity. Did I already say that? I did. A wave of destruction that would have surely disintegrated my body without trace if Saber didn't knock me aside. If That was Ryder's secret move. We can't be optimistic, even if Ryder herself is weak. No, more than not being optimistic, I feel like we shouldn't even challenge her.
つまりライダーはライダー本人より所有する宝具の方が優れてるタイプってわけね。
Oh yeah.
でセイバー、シローはともかくあなたならライダーの宝具が何であるか分かったんじゃない？目の前で使われたんだから見当ぐらいはついてるんでしょ？
面目ありません。シロを守ることに精一杯で、私もあれが何であるか確認することはできなかった。
Quite unfortunate.
そんなことに気を割いていたら、私もシロもあの一撃に巻き込まれていたでしょう。
All we know is it was large.
巻き込まれたって何？ライダーの宝具って飛び道具なの？
Felt like a cavalry charge to me. I mean, she is Ryder after all.
それに近いものでした。分類的にはリンの使う魔術に近い。あれは私の剣やランサーの槍のような対人宝具ではないのでしょう。
私の魔術に近いってそれこそ変よ。セイバーの対魔術は神業じゃない。現代の魔術じゃまずあなたに傷を負わせることはできない。そのあなたがかわさなくちゃいけない魔術なんて、それは
That would be some god tier magic.
はい。神秘はより強い神秘の前に無効化される。私の鎧を通ることができる神秘は、あなたたちの言う魔法か神域に住む幻想種だけです。
魔法使い。ライダーは魔術師だっていうの？セイバ
ー。That'd be kind of interesting, actually.
いいえ、それほどの魔力は感じませんでした。
Never mind. It'd be interesting if, like, a magus from legend ended up as a servant.
彼女はライダーです。魔法使いがいるとすれば、それはキャスターだけでしょう。ライダーの宝具は、おそらく別のものだと思います。
Tosaka gives a relieved sigh at Saber's answer, but I don't quite get it.
セイバー、お前の鎧っていうのはそんなに硬いものなのか？魔法でなければ通らないなんて言うけど、それならランサーのゲイボルクは魔法ってことになるが。
I feel like this is where we get into what, like physical resistance and magic resistance, because it's her magic resistance that's absurdly strong.
ええ、確かにランサーのゲイボルクは魔法に近い呪いですが、リン、シローに説明してあげてくれますか？
私？まあいいけど、要するにシローはセイバーは魔法じゃないと傷つかないと勘違いしているわけね。
あ、いや、別にそういうわけじゃないけど、ただそんなに頑丈な鎧ならすごいなって思っただけだ。
そりゃすごいわよ。セイバーに限らずサーバントってのはみんな英霊なのよ。霊体ってこともあるけど、まっとうな手段じゃ傷一つつけられない。サーバントはそれ自体が神秘だから。物理的な手段でサーバントを傷つけられるのは同じ英霊であるサーバントだけ。逆に言えばサーバント同士ならただのペーパーナイフでもセイバーを傷つけることはできる。
That's interesting. I just want to see Saber wield a paper knife now.
相手がサーバントならセイバーの鎧もそう鉄壁ってわけじゃないってことか。
そうね。けどセイバー自身接近戦の技量が優れているから、白兵戦ではまずセイバーに傷は負わせられない。
Yeah, she is very skilled in combat, especially even compared to servants. So, hurting her in a one-on-one without using an elbow phantasm is quite impressive.
残った手段は遠距離からの攻撃、魔術っていう飛び道具になるわけだけど、セイバーは騎士のくせにとんでもない対魔力を持ってるから、大抵の魔術は弾かれてしまうのよ。バッドラックに代表される呪いなんてまず届かないし、魔力を矢として放つ直接干渉も効かない。セイバーを倒したかったら真正面からの切り合いで彼女を任さなくちゃダメってわけ。
And it's then practically impossible to win that fight. Saber's listening quietly to Tosaka's explanation. She probably is not interrupting because it's all true.
なんだよ、そんなのインチキだ。剣技で叶わないから魔術で勝負するっていうのに、 魔術そのものがセイバーに効かないならどうしろって言うんだ。
Beat her in combat, somehow.
なんか不公平だぞその話。
そうね。けどそのセイバーだって白兵戦で絶対に負けないというわけでもないでしょ。バーサーカーは力だけならセイバーを上回ってるし、ランサーだって白兵戦において必殺の槍を持ってる。
They gotta bring out the big guns.
今話してるライダーだってセイバーを出し抜くほどの宝具を持ってたんだから、セイバーも完璧ってわけじゃないわ。
You can't pull out the Glock against Saber. You gotta pull out like the M16, basically. You can't leave anything. You can't leave anything there. Like you gotta pull out your noble phantasm, pretty much guaranteed. I mean, literally everybody she's fought has either gotten folded like paper, like Archer, or well, okay, that's not entirely true. Now the Archer part is, but Berserker did not get folded like paper. And he did not have to use his Noble Phantasm. However, everybody else had to use their Noble Phantasm to even, like, hold their own against Saber. And Saber hasn't really had to use hers. I mean, I think she was pretty close to using it on Assassin, but I don't think she even finished using it. So I mean, that just says a lot about the state of one-on-one combat against Saber. But, you know, if things got into a hectic brawl with multiple noble phantasms being thrown, I mean, it's not like Saber couldn't go down.
私たちだってセイバーを倒す方法はあるもの。
Even us?
単にセイバーの耐魔力を上回る魔術を持ってくるか、サーバントが使っている武器を借りて寝ている間に首を切るとか。サーバントの武器ならサーバント自身と同じ霊格なんだから傷をつけることは可能なはずよ。
Now, obviously, we have no interest in doing that, but it is interesting to know we could do that. It's a scary example, but I understand. Hold on, Tasaka. You can't talk like that in front of Saber herself. Yeah, she's like, wait, what? Don't say that.
あ、そうなんだ。じゃあライダーの宝具が特別優れてるってわけじゃなくて、サーバントの攻撃だからセイバーも守りに徹したってことなのか。
わけないでしょ。セイバーが守りに徹するのならライダー自身じゃ何をしたって追い詰めることなんて不可能よ。ライダー本人がそう優れた英霊じゃないのなら彼女が宝具を使ったところでたかが知れているし。そうでしょセイバー。ライダーの宝具はライダー自身の能力とは関係のない武器なのよね。
おそらくライダーの技や魔力に頼らない自動的な武装、宝具そのものに効果があるものだと思います。
Makes sense.
魔術か幻想種かどちらにせよ、あの魔法陣から放たれたものは圧倒的でした。直撃を受けた場合、生き延びられるサーバントなどいないでしょう。
So it seems like quite a strong noble phantasm that we should probably avoid getting hit by.
そうなの？数値的にどれくらい？
Well, I think it was ranked A+, right?
あなたたち風に言うのなら A+ といったところでしょうか。私個人の推測に過ぎないので断定はできませんが。
A+？何それ、魔法一歩手前じゃない。
Well, yeah, that's what we said already. I mean, it was able to pierce Saber's, or would have been able to pierce Saber's magic resistance, apparently. I did not mean to go to history. I meant to go to status. Right. If Saber felt that it could get through her magic resistance, it would have to be above an A, right? So, A+ seems like the only valid place to put that. At least in terms of raw magical power. Now you could argue, like, effectiveness. I don't know if that actually affects the ranking. Like, if something is horribly unpractical, would that make it lower ranked? I don't know. I don't imagine many servants would have a horribly unpractical noble phantasm, though.
そんなの使われてよく学校が吹っ飛ばなかったってもんだわ。
Yeah, only a portion of it did.
単純に破壊するだけの宝具 というわけではないのでしょう。もともとは他の用途がある宝具なのではないでしょうか。
It literally felt like a massive cavalry charge, kind of. Like magic-based cavalry charge. Because if I remember correctly, the destruction along the walls was pretty consistently in the same place. So I don't know. Maybe that could just indicate, or I guess that just indicates how wide it is. Has nothing to do with that, if that's a cavalry charge or not. Maybe I'm just stuck on that because it's Rider. But it feels like it was a way for them to move very fast, right? Highly destructive. Destroyed things in its path. If it's not a cavalry charge, it felt effectively like one. Because, I mean, unless what? Did they actually just blast us with a magical attack and then run away in the opposite direction? I mean, maybe that's what they did.
そう。だとしても厄介ね。セイバーの話じゃ A 判定どころじゃないし、瞬間的な攻撃力ならサーバント中最高ってことになるのかしら。
まあ確かに攻守ともに優れた宝具のようでしたが、それより私の宝具の方が。
Saber comments to Tosaka, who goes into pondering. Saber's like, wait, no, like, I'm the best. Come on, stop. What is it? Saber doesn't seem to be enjoying this conversation.
セイバー、遠坂の意見、なんか引っかかるところでもあるのか？
いえ、別にそういうわけではないというか、本当はどちらが強いかなど追求するのは騎士にあるまじき行いというか。
I feel like she's comparing herself to everyone and doesn't want to admit it. She's acting suspiciously. Saber mumbles on as if ashamed of what she's saying.
まあいいけど、それよりさ、さっき妙なことを言ってなかったか？セイバーとランサーのは対人宝具とかなんとか。
対人宝具ですか？いえ、言葉通りの意味ですが、私の風王結界やランサーのゲイボルクはあくまで人を倒すための武装です。
Whereas you had Rider's like blood temple, whatever, blood boundary field. That was like anti-army.
いかに強力な魔力、呪いを帯びていたところで、その用途は対人の域を出るものではありません。
Well, that is true. Saber's invisible sword is certainly an advantage in battle. But that is only in the case of man versus man. There would be no difference in speed, even if you used an invisible sword to chop wood. Lancer's Gaebolg is the same. Gaebolg. Even with a cursed lance that will strike the heart, if the opponent is a rock or a house, it is no more than a strong lance.
なるほど。だから対人の宝具ってことなのか。ならライダーの宝具は
大軍宝具ってことになるわね。
Yeah.
そういえば父さんに聞いたことがあったわ。宝具には対人に優れたもの、大軍に優れたものがあるって。
So don't bother rolling up with a full army, I guess.
簡単に言って、対人宝具は弾数制限のない拳銃で、大軍宝具ってのは一発限りのミサイルってことね。
I hope that was a one-time missile and that you can't use that again. That'd be sweet.
ライダーの宝具は強力だけど、その分使用にかなりの制限があるんじゃないかしら。
Oh, one-time missiles. Never mind.
セイバーの剣みたいにいつも見えないなんて永続的な宝具じゃない。
Yeah, that makes sense. I read that as a one-time missile. Like you could use it once ever. Like it takes so much magical energy or something. But yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. Saber always has her noble phantasm. Although she also has that wind attack that she was totally about to annihilate Assassin with. So she also seems to have some form of an active one. But, you know, Rider has the one where it's not always there, but when it is there, it dramatically changes the course of that battle. Hold on. A gun will be no match for a missile. It's true that Saber's invisible sword is an awesome sword, but it'll be blown away before she could swing it against such a ridiculous noble phantasm.
つまりライダーと戦うのなら宝具を使われる前に倒せってことか。
Definitely.
でしょうね。宝具の打ち合いになったら勝ち目はない。ライダーとシンジを探すって言うんなら、それだけは頭に入れておきなさい。大前提として、ライダーが宝具を使う前に倒すこと。戦いを長引かせれば長引かせるだけ、こっちが不利になるから。
And that'd be a pretty massive disadvantage.
もしくは私が戦っている間にライダーのマスターを倒せばいい。あのマスターに戦闘手段はないのだから、そちらの方が確実かもしれません。
Yeah, honestly, that's probably a really good plan. If Saber just keeps Ryder distracted and we just kind of, break his neck. I mean, heck, he was about to do it yesterday, but he might not. I don't know, maybe he won't be able to do it if he doesn't, go full on metal mode, he doesn't think he's in Doom or something. Bro literally was the Doom Slayer for a second there. But, I don't know, would he have the ability to actually do that? When he doesn't have the horror of that atrocity being committed right in front of him, and that he has to stop immediately? I mean, it would certainly be great if he did, but there's a chance that he doesn't have that ability. That's the conclusion. We don't know what Ryder's Noble Phantasm is, and additionally, it is too powerful. As we have no countermeasure, we can only beat her before she has a chance to use it. So whatever the noble phantasms of the other servants are, we cannot compete in noble phantasms against Ryder.
忠告助かったよ、遠坂。俺たちはシンジを探しに行くけど、遠坂はどうする？留守番していてくれるか？
そうね。あなたたちがそう言うなら、私たちもシンジを探してもいいんだけど。まあ、やめとくわ。
But I guess we won't. But is she leaving the fight to us, or...
敵はライダーだけじゃないし、
yeah.
私たちはもともとバーサーカーを倒すために手を組んだんだしね。シローがシンジを追っている間、私は私でやることがあるから。
Tosaka stands up with a cold smile on her face.
それじゃあね。いい結果を期待しているわ。
Tosaka's doing a lot of things that we just don't get to see, huh? Interesting. Well, I wonder if we do get to see them at another time, because I know there's more than one route. It wouldn't be that surprising if we got one from Tosaka's perspective, right? Especially considering she was the protagonist in the prologue. I don't think it'd be that strange to see her perspective again. I actually don't know how many routes this game has. So, I can't even try to guess at everything. I don't know. I guess if they wanted to go really, buck wild, I guess they could have one from the perspective of each master, but that seems a bit absurd. No clue, honestly. I'm not too worried about that. I don't even necessarily want to know. We'll get there when we get there. Leaving Tosaka at home, I leave with Saber. It's 7:30 in the morning. The hill is really quiet. Students usually go to school at this time, but not many people are around today.
学校は休校だそうですね。
Yeah, I wonder why.
死者が出なかったとはいえ、大半の生徒は未だ立ち上がれる体ではないということですか。
Pretty good reason to temporarily shut down. And it means we don't have to go back.
重度の栄養失調みたいなもんだからな。まともに動けるようになるまで何日かはかかるだろう。
But those are the lucky ones. Transformation of the skin, necrosis of the tips of the limbs. I hear there were even students on the verge of blindness.
タイガも病院に運ばれたと聞きます。見舞いに行かずともいいのですか、シロ。
ああ、不死ねえのはただの疲労だと。心配しなくてもいいから真面目に家で勉強してろとさ。
She'll probably visit her at some point. I called the Fujimura house and checked out Fujini's state before I left the house. Okay, that's diligent. I can respect that at least. I would like to go visit her, but I should hold off on that for now. Yeah, maybe now is not the time, but...
では探索に専念するのですね。それはいいのですが、シロに当てはあるのですか？
I mean, he could just be chilling at his house.
私はサーバントの気配を読み取れますが、それも近づかなければわかりません。何か手がかりがなければ、 探し出すのは難しいのではないでしょうか。
Roll up to where he lives. Actually, maybe Sakura might have something for us.
ああ、確かにシンジが何もせずに隠れていた場合、探し出すのは難しいだろう。けどあいつの性格から言って昨日の今日でおとなしくしているとは思えない。
Shinji's not the type to stop when he's beaten. Yeah, no, literally, he's not, and we know that for a fact. Because he's literally been beaten, and he never stopped. Right? He never stopped going after Tosaka. Like, he's definitely not the type to stop when he's beaten. He's the kind of guy that'll take revenge.
ではライダーのマスターは再び結界を張ろうとすると。
間違いなくな。俺と同じであいつはサーバントに魔力を提供できない。俺たちに復讐しようとするならまず魔力を貯めないといけないだろう。
So what, are we gonna try to find the best spots to put a boundary field?
なら見つけ出すのはそう難しくはないんじゃないか。
ライダーのマスターを探すのではなく結界を探すのですね。
Seems logical.
ああ、マスターの感知はできなくてもあれだけの結界なら近づけばわかる。それに場所も特定できるだろう。大きな建物で人がたくさん集まるところを当たっていけばいい。
驚いた。やりますね、シロ。
Yeah, smart guy, I guess.
俺だって考えなしってわけじゃないぞ。探し出せる自信がなかったらこんなことは言い出さないよ。
That Loki feels like a diss on Shiro. She's like, yeah, no, you weren't thinking pretty well before, but now you're thinking well. Right? Yes, I'm confident. There's the matter of the boundary field, but there's more meaning in us walking around. Just as I can't leave Shinji alone, I bet Shinji doesn't intend to let us go either. Yeah, probably not. Just to be sure, we go to Shinji's house. I have Saber check for the presence of Rider. The result is negative. Well, he's not the kind of guy that would be resting at home.
行こう。シンジが結界を張るとしたらこっちの町じゃなくてシントの方だ。オフィス街のビルを総当たりしていこう。
Calling out to Saber, I leave the Mato house.
いいのですか、シロ。ここはさくらの家なのでしょ。立ち寄ったのですから声をかけては。それぐらいは余裕があると思いますが。
Do we have the time for that? I'm certainly worried about Sakura. According to Tosaka, Sakura was just weakened. Fortunately, she didn't have any external wounds. But if I can, I want to see her and take care of her since she has always taken care of me.
やめ
But
ておく。この戦いが終わるまではさくらと会って戦いに巻き込むわけにはいかないからな。
I've got responsibilities right now, and we definitely don't want to get her involved in this at all. And most of all, I can't go and see Sakura if I'm to fight Sakura's brother soon. If the worst comes to the worst and I have to kill Shinji, I'll never be able to face her. So I shouldn't leave any lingering affections. I think that's the best course I can take, and I also believe it is for Sakura's best as well. She's about to walk out, isn't she? No, okay. But she's about to walk out like, Shiro! I was gonna be like, uh-oh. We go to every building we spot. We went through all the larger ones first, but there's no findings yet. Wiping the sweat off my brow, I move my heavy limbs. Trying to calm my breathing, I stand still for a while and take a deep breath.
シロ、何か異常でもあり。シロ、こちらへ。
What did she see?
ちょっと待って。そっちは公園だぞ。こっちにはまだ見てない建物が残って。
Bro, she clearly sensed something. Let's go.
それは後にしてください。今はこちらが最優先です。
Or she realized something, I don't know. Something must have caught our attention. She speaks strictly and pulls me towards the park.
セイバー、どうしたんだよ。こんなところまでやってきて。ここには何もない。そんなのセイバーにだってわかるだろう。
Has Saber been here yet? I don't think she has. Like, no, the one time we went here was before we summoned Saber, so... And if she fought in the last Holy Grail War, this place is probably significant for her.
いいですから、そこのベンチに座ってください。話はその後で聞きます。
Stared down by Saber, I reluctantly sit down on the bench. And then... Flashback time. I almost faint. I hold my face with one hand. My forehead is sweaty, and my breath is out of control even though I'm sitting down. Hold on. Why am I sweating in the middle of winter?
おかしいな。こんなに疲れてたのか、俺。
Yeah, probably. As soon as I ask myself that, I finally realize the state of my body. I'm not tired. This is just my unhealed wound aching. Yeah, you needed rest, bro. You were a little hasty on this. Ridiculous. No matter how deep the breaths I take are, I can't catch my breath. My body is heavy and my legs refuse to stand up.
ようやく自分の体に気がついたようですね、シロ。
Saber is angry. It's only natural. It does no good when the one who suggested the idea of searching for Shinji is just resting on a bench.
すまん。すぐ動けるようにするから、しばらく待ってくれ。
No, she's probably gonna drag you home, bro.
私が注意しているのはそんなことではありません。どうやらあなたには何を言っても無駄のようですね。
Yeah. She's worried. She's worried about what would happen to you in this state and what you could even do in this state. Like, if you actually were to fight, like, you're not doing much with those level of wounds. Or just not resting could be dangerous, right? Even just walking around with those wounds are potentially dangerous. I understand that Saber is angry. I understand, but I don't quite get what she's so angry about.
ちょっとセイバー、きちんと言ってくれないと何が言いたいのかわからないんだが。
わからないのなら語る必要はないでしょ。
That's tough.
いいですから、シロはそこで休んでいてください。一人で休むのが嫌なら、私もお付き合いしますから。
Yeah, this ain't the place for him to rest, man. Saying that, Saber sits next to me. The bench isn't that large. Saber is sitting so close to me that I could touch her shoulder if I leaned over a bit.
いや、待てってセイバー。
Nah, bro. Bro's gonna sleep on her shoulder.
休んでる暇なんてないだろう。俺たちは遊びに来たんじゃなくて。
Bro, if you can barely move, you have to rest, like...
遊びになど来ていません。休憩も戦いのうちです。文句を言うのでしたら、まずその呼吸を整えてからにしてください。
That's fair. Resting is definitely part of the battle.
いや、呼吸を整えろって、お前。
I mean, as stupid as it sounds, that's the... You know, that's something... It's like even pro athletes, you know? We probably look at them and we're like, wow, they have like unlimited stamina. But then you don't see all the ice baths, the constant sleeping, how much they take care of their body. You know, like, nobody performing at this level can just not rest. That's part of the battle. They don't just walk in ready for an NBA game without taking care of their body. So we can't expect to walk into a fight without taking care of our body at all and expect good results. It's true that my body is tired and I can't breathe properly, but if you're this close, my heart starts jumping and...
シロ、人の話を聞いていますか？今まで体に無理をさせてきたのですから、まずは肩の力を抜いて落ち着いてください。気が散っていては体が休まらないのですから。
いや、だから。
She wants me calm. Why doesn't she get away from me? I don't know what Saber thinks, but for me, she's a girl of around my age. Well, she's actually younger, but she's a girl nonetheless. And on top of that, she's unrealistically beautiful. I don't know what kind of a guy would be able to calm down with her next to him. I mean, fair enough, I guess.
シロ、気のせいでしょうか。先ほどより顔色が悪くなってきた気がするのですが。
How do you address that? Like, please, go away, move, go to the next bench. Like...
そんなことない。動揺なんてしてないぞ、こっちは。
それならいいのですが、やはり横になった方がいいのでしょうか。この辺りで休めるところと言ったら。
Saber looks around. Hey, why is there a guy using his lover's thighs as a pillow in this desolate park? Don't tell me she just got that idea. And it seems Saber's looking at the couple and thinking, yep.
シロ、気分が悪いのでしたら横に。
He's gonna cut off like, no, can't do that.
大丈夫、おとなしくしてればすぐに落ち着くから。余計な心配はしなくていい。しなくていいから当分ほっといてくれ。
Missed opportunity. Oh man. I'm not even the biggest fan of their interactions, but I don't know. Still funny. Looking away from Saber, I close my eyes so I won't see her. Calm down. Try to ignore Saber, who is sitting next to me. All I have to do now is to keep on breathing deeply and... Flashback time? Yep. The fire died down after one night. The red fiery walls were gone. I told you this was not the place to rest, man. I mean, I guess Saber could have known. There was a burnt field all around me, and the blackened woods were smoldering with the sounds of sparking. As I lay there, I think that it sounds like a small firework. The sky starts to cloud up. It would rain soon, and the fire should soon stop. I was looking up blankly at the sky with a body that was even having difficulty breathing. There are only burned corpses around me. I have burns all over my body, and there's a bad burn across my chest. My open chest. I feel like I could grab my heart if I put my fingers into the inflamed chest. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, I didn't fall because I was tired. My numb body wasn't kind enough to be able to rest just because it was tired. I fell because I think my wounds made me unable to move my arms or legs. So I was manly and did not panic. I knew I would not be saved, and I wasn't scared because everyone around me had died the same way. I just looked up at the clouding sky and watched myself as I grew thinner. But still, with my dazed consciousness, I thought to seek help as long as I was alive, and I reached out my hands. Wait, something's weird. I shouldn't remember a burning feeling in my chest. I wake up suddenly. Oh my goodness, it's nighttime. Bro just slept for like 14 hours. He deserved that sleep, but Jesus, man. I open my shirt and check my body. There's no scar on my chest. I almost died because of lack of oxygen from the burn after all, and I didn't have any fatal wounds. If I had taken something like that, I bet even Kiritsugu wouldn't have been able to save me. So wait. So did he not actually get burned? I'm confused. Because he's saying there's no scar. I mean, maybe it did happen, but he seemed confused about the premise of there being a burn on his chest. I shouldn't remember a burning feeling in my chest, so maybe he got what was happening when mixed up? I don't know. Hold on, let me just go a little further. No, more importantly. Yeah, bro, you were slumped the whole day. Okay, I guess maybe this isn't that important. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking about this too much. Because this sentence right here is making me think like maybe he didn't actually get a huge burn across his chest, but if he didn't, then I mean, the flashback matches with what we know, so... I feel like he probably did get like a burn, but not like open chest burn.
はい。よく眠っているようでしたので起こしませんでしたが、その会話あったようですね。
人が悪いな。居眠りした俺が悪いにしても、起こしてくれてもよかったじゃないか。休んでいる暇はないって言っただろ。
Like she said, resting is part of the battle, so.
休息は必要な行為です。それにシロが眠っていたのは1時間程度ですから、そう問題はないでしょう。
An hour? What?
そりゃ結果論だ。俺が起きなかったらどうするつもりだったんだよ、一体。
Only sleeping for an hour? Wasn't it 7:30 a.m.? Did I get the time wrong? Was it 7:30 p.m.? It might have been. Yeah, I guess it was already kind of dark out, so that would make more sense. Okay, I think I just had a fundamental misunderstanding there.
そうですね。あまり変わりはないでしょう。日が落ちて寒くなってきましたから、そろそろ声をかけようと思っていたところです。
So that we can go home and you can sleep again. This is no good. No matter how I think about it, she's right in this case.
まあ確かに体の調子はすごくいいけど。
Yeah, that's why we sleep. I get up from the bench and start to walk through the field. There's no trace in the field of what came before. No trace of when it used to be a residential district, nor any trace of when it was that red burning world. It kind of irritates me that in spite of that, I saw that afterimage just by sleeping here.
シロ、何か問題でもあるのですか？
Yeah, the whole park.
ああいや、どうせ休むなら別の場所にするべきだったなって。ここはどうも嫌な思い出がありすぎる。
She couldn't have possibly known that, but she did pick pretty much the worst place in the city for us to rest.
嫌な思い出。シロはこの場所に縁があったのですか？
Are we gonna properly explain what happened now?
そっか。話してなかったっけ？俺、昔はこの辺りに住んでたんだ。10年前の話だけどな。大きな火事が起きて、両親も家も焼け落ちた。その時に親父に助けられて、そのまま養子になったんだよ。
I feel like she'll probably have a big reaction to that and be like, oh, 10 years ago. Yep.
では、あなたは？
ああ、キリツグの実の子供ってわけじゃない。それに、聖杯戦争と無関係ってわけでもないのかな。ここが前回の戦いの最後の場所だってのは聞いてるよ。そこで生き残った俺がマスターになるんだから、皮肉というか、縁があるっていうか。
I walk through the field. It's been 10 years since that happened, but it seems this ground isn't fertile at all. Maybe the regret of the dying people has seeped into this land. That is quite a line. Jesus. That is brutal. I don't even know what to say. That line right there is... That is just such a good line. I don't know. Maybe I'm overselling it. It just packs a punch. That brutal reminder of what happened here. Jeez, man.
シロ、あなたが犠牲者を出すまいとするのは、それが理由ですか？
Yes.
あなた自身が聖杯戦争の犠牲者だからこそ、自分のような犠牲者は出したくないと。
いや、それは。
Now that she mentions it, maybe that's logical. But strangely, I've never thought about it that way.
どうだろう。セイバーの言うことはもっともだけど、俺はもっと単純だと思うよ。10年前さ、ここでキリツグに助けられた時はただ嬉しかった。それ以外になかったから、自分もそうなれたらいいと憧れたんじゃないかな。
That's right. I was just happy at that time. I can't put into words the emotion I felt when my request for help was granted. But at the same time, the happier I was, the guiltier I felt. Yeah, he's got some intense survivor's guilt. Excuse me. For some reason, I was never able to actually realize that that's what it was, but yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense.
けど、自分だけ願いが叶えられたってのは居心地が悪かった。俺は親父に助けられたけど、他の人たちは助けられずにずっとこのままだ。
Everyone wished for help, and I was the only one who received it. Only I was saved. And I was saved with the sacrifice of everyone else. So, Emiyashiro must take responsibility for it.
けどまあ、起きてしまったことは戻しようがないからな。死んでいった人たちに報いたいなら、せめてこれからのことを防ぐべきだ。10年前のような惨事は起こさせない。またあんなことになったら、それこそ犠牲になった人たちに合わせる顔がないだろう。まあ、 俺の理由なんてその程度のものだと思う。
We're kind of deep diving into his character, huh? More importantly, we should continue searching for Shinji. I feel better, so we should go to the buildings we haven't searched yet. And there will be fewer people around at night. If Shinji wants to attack us, now would be a perfect time. We're going to make ourselves a decoy. The real deal starts now.
行こうか、セイバー。とりあえずオフィス街に戻ろう。セイバー、どうした？忘れ物でもあるのか？
Is she feeling guilty about it? I mean, she participated in that war, right? So maybe she's somehow related to this incident in particular. Maybe it was her master.
いえ、ただ今朝のことを思い出していました。
Or maybe it wasn't her master, but she was just thinking about the whole thing.
体の傷を治してからライダーのマスターを探すべきだと言った私に、シローは順番が違うと言いました。
Maybe I said that, but I don't remember the details.
シローは昨日も同じ言葉を口にした。以前から感じてはいましたが、その時に確信したのです。あなたには自分を助けようとする気がないのだと。
No, he has absolutely no intention of saving himself. You're right. He's not at all worried about what happens to him. I think I've said that one a few times at least. As if even stating that fact is a crime, she stares at me and declares so.
あなたは自身より他人を優先している。それは立派ですが、それではあなたはいつかきっと後悔する。シローはもっと自分を大切にするべきだ。
Saber walks past me.
行きましょう。確かにここにいてはあなたに負担をかける。
Yeah, a little bit. Saber starts to walk towards the office district. I try to call out to her, but I can't in the end.
何を？
Are you saying? Those words die in my throat. It can't be that I don't intend to save myself. It can't be true, but for some reason, I can't refute her words. No, that's definitely what it is. You have no intention of saving yourself. If it was your life on the line or the life of even just a few others, heck, maybe even one other person that you knew you could save, I think he'd gladly lay his life down every time. Like, I think that's the kind of guy he is. We walk through the town. It's past 8 o'clock. At this time, when the station gets the most crowded, Saber and I stare at the map of the city.
主だった建物は回りましたね。他に行くべき場所はありますか？
そうだな。少し離れたところに工場がある。あそこも人が集まる場所だから調べておかないと。まあ、工場っていうのはシンジの趣味じゃないと思うんだが。
Even as I answer, it's hard to look at Saber. It must be because that conversation earlier is still affecting me. She called him out. Since Saber is acting like she doesn't care, it bothers me even more. Okay, so I'm dumb and forgot I was in a Discord server right now, so I'm gonna have to cut that last part. And we're just gonna replay these lines.
そういうセイバーの方はどうだ？ライダーの気配はつかめるか？
いえ、感じません。彼女とは一度戦っていますから、近くにいれば知覚できるのですが。
Man, I forgot I was in a Discord and somebody joined. Oh man, that's tough. A strange feeling pierces my heart. A wave of magical energy that even I can feel. There's no way Saber can't feel that.
シロ、言うまでもないと思うのですが。
You don't need to say a word. The boundary field probably just went up.
わかってる。近くにいるのか、セイバー。
Is it fight time?
いいえ、まだそこまでの距離ではないようです。ですが、確実に見られている。この魔力は私たちに対する挑発でしょう。
Oh, they want the one-on-one. Okay. Or two-on-two, I guess, in a way. But they want a box. They're watching us, so that must mean they finally fell for the decoy. If they're emitting magical energy so obviously, they must be trying to tempt us.
で、この気配、ライダーなのか？
My mind switches. The awkwardness from before disappears.
魔力をたどります。注意してください、マスター。
I nod silently. The murderous intent stinging my skin is coming from the office district, empty of people. Maybe no one is working overtime today of all days. Most of the lights in the buildings you could call the symbol of Shinto have already disappeared. Not many people are walking through the roads, and the view isn't that bad. No one looks suspicious, and if Shinji is anywhere, he would be ahead of us. Perhaps the park we were just in. Oh, that'd be brutal. The murderous intent is getting stronger. There's no mistake that an enemy is nearby. No, more like... Whoa. I feel a chill run down my spine. From the intensity of the murderous intent that even I can feel. Perhaps we're already in the range of the enemy.
セイバー、気をつけろ。何か変だ。
Yeah, something's wrong.
ええ、シローの感覚は正しい。このように人目のある場所で仕掛けてくるとは思いませんが、相手が相手です。
What if it's not them?
用心に越したことはありません。
It's like Caster or something, or somebody long range, right? Be interesting. Nodding silently, we head to the park. I'll ignore the oppressive pressure that feels like having a knife stuck in my neck. Shinji... No, I could totally see Shinji being the type of guy who's like, oh, we have to fight? We're gonna fight? Oh, let me bring you to your traumatic past. He definitely seems like he'd do that. Rider and Shinji are nowhere in the office district. They're going to attack. It will be in the park where nobody will see.
シロー、
セイバー、
Oh, what happened? I turn to Saber. She rushes at me like lightning. Oh, were we about to get jumped? And deflects the attack over my head. I look up. In my sight is a large building, towering overhead as if to reach the heavens. And clinging on its side like a spider is the figure of the enemy. Oh, she's back. Long hair covering her whole body and flexible white limbs. Maybe out in the open is a better place for her to fight. If she has that kind of range. The figure with the masked face is none other than the servant Rider. The figure clinging around the 5th floor looks at me and licks her lips. I feel a freezing chill. There's no mistake. She came down from the top of the building to kill me using my overhead blind spot. Saber lands on the ground. Saber, who jumped above me and deflected the attack, has instantly armed herself.
セイバー、あいつは。
追います。シローはここにいてください。
追うってどうやって？
She kicks the ground. The silver armor disappears from my vision in an instant. What? If Rider coming down from the top of the building is ridiculous, so is Saber pursuing her despite jumping. Oh, okay. No, perhaps because they're servants, normal logic doesn't apply to them. Seems accurate, but I didn't know we were playing with Air Jordan here. Like Rider, Saber kicks the side of the building and charges at Rider like lightning. The two shadows intersect at great speeds. They clash overhead and separate, and then kick off the building and clash again. It's like watching fighter aircrafts dogfight. Oh my god, that's insane. Wait here, like Saber told us, or follow Saber. Oh, now that is tough. So here's the thing. I feel like if we follow Saber, that could be walking us into a trap. And while maybe it is good for us to go fight and back her up, I feel like that is just so risky. Like, I feel like we probably need to just listen to Saber on this one. I could be wrong, and this could bring me to a bad end. I have no clue. But... oh, man. I don't know. Like, is listening to Saber just the move? If I don't have any reason to believe it's not, then it probably just is. Like, what we should do. Even if it ends up being wrong. Like, I don't have any real reason to disobey Saber on that. Especially when it's not a bad idea at all. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, in this fight? Nothing. So I guess we just wait here and stand by. Maybe that's the wrong choice. We'll see, though. It's sad, but I guess all I can do is stay here. I can't run up the side of the building. I mean, even if I do go after her, I wouldn't be able to back her up in any way.
Saber.
A human cannot participate in a battle between servants. There's nothing I can do. I can only trust Saber's words and wait here. Yeah, I gotta put trust in her. That's all we really can do. 60 seconds pass. After a short blank period, I see intersecting sparks away above me.
屋上二人ともビルの屋上まで上がったのか
Yeah, Jesus. I don't know what you were doing to follow that, bro, but I strain my eyes to follow Saber's figure. The silver and the black light do not stop even once and disappear a few hundred meters higher. What? What should I do? Should I go into a building and run up to the rooftop? Unlike the side of the building, if it's the rooftop on firm ground, I should be able to...
なんだ
What was that? A bright light is emitted from the rooftop. Not just once. It repeats in rapid succession.
あれはまさか
That's the sign to stay away. Rider's noble phantasm? If so, Saber has no chance of winning. Not letting Rider use her noble phantasm. Wasn't that the main requirement for Saber to win? Oh, maybe we did just mess up. Maybe we needed to rush Shinji.
Saber!
There's no time for indecision. Gritting my teeth at my cowardice, I run to the building. We might have been too late. I feel like we did just get a bad end. I run up the stairs. It was easy to get into the building, but it's not easy to get to the rooftop. The elevator doesn't go beyond the 40th floor, so I have to use the stairs to go up further.
こんなことで時間を取ってられないってのに
In the darkness of the inactive lights, I continue up the stairs leading to the rooftop. It's already been 5 minutes since I snuck in. A normal battle should be decided by now. The ground shakes. The 50-story building shakes as if bombed.
なんだ今のライダーのホーグじゃないぞ
One more floor to the rooftop. Shaking off an ominous presentiment, I run up the darkened stairs. I feel like we just messed up. I feel like Saber's gonna be dead up there. The instant I open the door, I feel hot air on my face. A burning heat hot enough to burn my face rushes in.
一体何が
Happened here. The concrete ground is burned up here and there. The dry air as if there's nothing living.
セイバー
In the middle, Saber's collapsed as if empty of energy.
セイバーしっかりしろセイバ
I run to Saber and raise her up. She's still breathing. Saber's unconscious and breathing heavily as if wounded really badly.
ーセイバー
Saber remains and Rider is nowhere to be seen. So leaving the process aside, the result is clear. If Rider was still here, she would not have let Saber go as weakened as she is. Yeah, there's no way. To the survivor, the victorious one is Saber. Rider was defeated, and Saber must have lost consciousness in exchange for that.
我慢しててくれすぐに連れて帰って遠坂に見てもらうからだ
I hold Saber in my arms. I'm amazed at her lightness. Saber, breathing painfully, has no weight like she's just an illusion. Wait, not bad end?
終わったわよ。和室に寝かせてきたけど、あの分じゃしばらく目を覚まさないでしょうね。
So when we say Rider is defeated, does that mean like dead defeated? Or she ran away again defeated? If she's dead defeated, that means we finally have one servant down. And we're down to 6. Which is still a tall task. But hey, it's progress. It's progress. But, I mean, it could just be run away defeated. I don't know. We'll have to wait for Saber, I suppose, to get all the information. I don't know. It's not feeling like this is a bad end anymore. Maybe if we'd gone up there earlier, we get nuked and we die. So, I don't know. Maybe I dodged another bad end. That'd be kind of insane. I mean, even if I got one just now, right, and Saber's about to pass out and die or something, right? Like, I can't believe I've gone this far without any bad ends yet.
すまん、助かった。俺にはセイバーを手当てするなんてできないからな。
Tosaka is the real MVP sometimes.
まあ鎧を脱がせて楽にさせただけだからお礼を言われるほどじゃないわ。セイバーの体も良くならないし、私は何もしてないもの。
Saber won't get well? What do you mean? Is she toast? But still, having Tosaka around was helpful. She understood the situation with just one glance at me holding Saber. Tosaka quickly took off Saber's armor and examined her.
それで何があったの？シンジを探しに行って帰ってきたと思ったらセイバーがあれでしょ？一腹あったのはわかるけど説明してくれないかしら。
We'd kind of need Saber to wake up and actually explain them, because we don't really know them.
それが俺にもわからない。セイバーとライダーが戦って生き残ったのはセイバーだってことしか。
詳しく知りたいところだけど追求するのは勘弁してあげるわ。
Yeah, no kidding.
今のあなたたちはそれどころじゃないものね。
それどころじゃないってどういうことだ？
言葉通りの意味よ。あなただってうすうすは気づいてるんでしょ。このままじゃセイバーが消えるってことぐらい。
So what, is she effectively dead? Calmly, Tosaka mentions the results I have avoided thinking about.
消えるって、セイバーが消えるっていうのか、お前は。
Maybe it is a bad end, unless we have some way to fix that.
ええ、どんな戦いをしたのか知らないけどセイバーの魔力ほとんど空っぽなのよ。今彼女が苦しんでいるのはね、魔力不足で消えようとしている自分を必死に留めているからなの。
Yikes.
魔力がないからセイバーが消える？
Bro, you gotta figure out how to give her some magical energy or something.
ええ、霊体であるサーバントがこの世に留まるための魔力が足りていない。こんな時普通のマスターだったら自分の魔力を送るんだけど、あなたはそれができないでしょ。
Yikes.
簡単に言って今のセーバーは酸素不足であえいでいる魚みたいなものなのよ。
酸素不足ってバカな。だって今までは大丈夫だったじゃないか。セイバーだって眠っていれば持ち直すって。
She probably had to use a bunch of her magical energy in that fight.
それはセイバーの魔力量が桁外れだったからよ。けどそれもここまで。魔力を使い切ったサーバントを元に戻す方法は2つだけ。
And one of them is to give them magical energy.
マスターがサーバントに魔力を提供するか、サーバントが自分で魔力を補充するかよ。
And for us, option 2 is off the table, really. Like, it's against how we work as people. Saber wouldn't want it either. So we have to find a way to make option 1 work. Have a servant collect magical energy herself. That would mean killing innocent people like Rider did.
まさかセイバーはそんなことはしない。セイバー自身がそんなことはしないと言ったんだ。
でしょうね。けど方法はそれしかない。マスターが魔力を与えられない以上、サーバント自身が魔力を補充するしかないわ。これはあなたが決めることだけど、セイバーを助けたいのならセイバーに人を襲わせて魂を食べさせなさい。
That's the most realistic course. But that means...
もちろんセイバーは嫌がるでしょう。けど放っておけば遅かれ早かれセイバーは消えて、あなたは他のマスターから狙われることになる。
Saber will disappear? I can't even imagine such a thing. I still feel her body heat in my hands, which were carrying her.
決断はあなたに任せるわ。セイバーは眠らせておけば落ち着くだろうけど、それでも限界は近いでしょうね。決断をするなら
Yikes.
明日の朝がリミットよ。
If there's actually even a decision to make, then maybe it's not a bad end. I don't know. Tosaka leaves the living room. I feel dizzy. I can't even look up. I can only listen to Tosaka's departing footsteps. Boy, you best find a way to transfer some magical energy. I'm just saying, bro. 210 bookmark. Okay. I just need to see what keeps going. I mean, I was going to keep going anyways, but normally I'd kind of stop and talk about what happened, but I feel like this is a direct continuation of what's going on right now.
朝だ。
The day starts without me getting any sleep. Saber has not woken up yet. She's sleeping like a corpse. Ooh, brutal choice of words.
でも顔色は良くなった。
The situation isn't that pessimistic. Saber is breathing calmly, and there's no sign she's in pain. Saber is sleeping peacefully. This is just an everyday morning scene.
もしかしたらこのまま。
If I let her sleep like this, she might get back to normal. No, she won't. Come on, you can't like, deny the facts. Then there will be no need to have Saber kill people. Then, like we were doing now, Saber would be with me and...
何よ、都合のいいこと。
I punch the wall. I feel sick at how weak I am. Saber will certainly disappear if I postpone my decision. I get up, trying not to make a sound. I don't know when Saber will wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Oh man, I actually don't know what I'm gonna choose, if I actually have to choose. I go outside. It's not that I have a plan. Just seeking a sign to make me decide, I wander aimlessly. The park is empty as usual. Maybe it helps that it's colder today than usual. There's no one around, and it looks like I'm the only one out at this time. Why wander all the way over here? I sit on the bench and repeatedly consider the insoluble problem? Never seen that word. I don't know how long I'm slumped on the bench. But just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold, is Ilya about to appear? Hey, what's up?
もういないと思ったらこんなところにいる。
I'm suddenly called like that.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
It's kind of a big problem.
イリア、お前また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
As I start to say that, I'm amazed at my stupidity. Ilya is a master too. I shouldn't be worrying about this, and anyway, aren't we enemies?
悪いな。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたところだけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
Speaking of cold, that was really cold. Sitting down on the bench, I dismiss Ilya. There are things I need to talk to her about, but I have my hands full with Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything, and she just stares at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア？いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。
What, she just sensed that?
それで、シロはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Yeah, how did you just know that? Suddenly, the girl in front of me says this coldly as if she is someone else.
イリア、お前、なんでそんなこと。
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね。私もあのビルにいただけよ。
Ah, I see.
もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
I try to move my arms and legs, but they won't move at all. No, it feels like they're stiffening the more I put power into them. It's those eyes. Oh, is she about to kill us? Looking at Ilya's red eyes makes my body go numb and...
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。
Yep, we're dead.
一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
Yeah, we're dead. Bad end.
イリア、お前。
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。
Brutal.
もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
I noticed. Murderous intent seeps into Ilya's gaze. This is the same Ilya as the one that night when she was the master of Berserker.
お前、俺をここで殺すつもりか。
Yes, we're dead. Gritting my teeth, I gather all my strength. But I can't even twitch my fingers. Every nerve in my body is wrapped by Ilya's stare.
だってもうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたらシローは一人きりだもの。
Dang,
いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。
we'll just give up the command spells. Chill. But she's just gonna kill us.
戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
Brutal. She's not wrong, but Ilya raises her hand. Her white, slender fingers touch my chest.
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。それじゃあおやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
While we were kind of screwed anyway, Shiro coming to the park was extraordinarily stupid. My vision fades. Sensation in my limbs is already gone, and now my vision is gone as well. How long has it been since I fell into this darkness? While I wonder whether I'm dead or not, my consciousness fades away. Bad end. Wow. What a time for an alarm. Huh? It seems I'm still alive. Did she just jug us as one of her servants?
いいのイリア。この子、イリアの敵じゃないよ。
そんなのリズには関係ないわ。それにこれは当然の権利なんだから。
Is that why she was glad she found us first? So what, she could take us in instead of us having to die?
10年間ずっとこの時を待ってたんだから。
Wait, what?
今さら逃がしてなんかあげられない。
For 10 years, hold on. What? Ilya, what? I can't move. No, I can't even feel my body. What? What does this have to do with 10 years ago? What's going on? Am I really here?
控えなさいリーゼリット。お嬢様、組対の受け入れ準備が終わりました。あとは転移を行うだけですが。
始めるわ。二人とも下がってなさい。
What is going on? My vision is shut off. Within it, where no light exists, only Ilya's red command spell is... What is she doing? My mind is taken to a different place. Even though I have no senses, I think something grabbed my arm. I start to pass out. I don't know what will happen to me in the next few minutes, but it seems my fight has already ended. Yeah, that's a bad end. Yeah, there it is. Well... Nope. Okay, brutal. We got a bad end. Let's go back to that decision point, see if that made a difference. I guess we had a reason to not listen to Saber. We've already read all this. Okay. I can't just watch. Perhaps because it's a battle with no footholds, Saber's unable to overwhelm Rider like before. The two's conflict moves slowly up towards the rooftop. If Rider came from the rooftop, chances are Shinji is there. Yeah, that's valid. There are two conditions to fighting Rider. Beating Rider before she has a chance to use her Noble Phantasm, or get Shinji before that. Yeah. Okay, so that's why this is... Well, assuming it's not some choice from way before, right, then that is why this is the correct choice. We would get Shinji himself before the Noble Phantasm. Since Saber's fighting Rider, there's only one thing I can do. We gotta find Shinji. Put that boy out of his misery. Oh, we're... Okay. Ooh! Okay! This is a clean CG! The two shadows running up. The ground is already far away, and the clashes occur at higher and higher altitudes. The two need no foothold as they fly higher by kicking off the walls of the building. In the process, in the instant it takes them to move to the rooftop, they clash numerous times. If there were anyone watching them from the ground, they would think it looks like pinball. But then again, they cannot be perceived with the naked eye. Only their tracks are barely visible, and they're a circus of death invisible to any normal beings. But this circus is not what Saber wanted. Even if she's a servant, she cannot fly through the sky. So she can run up a wall, but that's it. This is no different from freefall. It is just the difference between rising until she loses her speed rather than falling. So the expression falling into the sky isn't that far off. Since she started, she has to continue to the final destination of the rooftop. If she takes any blows from her opponent in the process, she will just fall miserably to the ground. But those rules do not apply to the opponent Saber has to defeat. A trace of purple attacks Saber, who is just heading for the rooftop. Attacking from both sides and from above, arcing from every direction, Rider is not bound by gravity. Huh? She just gets to fly? Okay. Her long hair sways like a comet's tail, and her figure is like a snake encircling a tree. Saber's feet touch the building. Tilting her body to the side, she kicks off the building to her head around to its side. Saber's path that had headed directly towards the rooftop, good lord, changes direction perpendicularly. The flowing attacks go away. Rider cannot match Saber in instantaneous bursts. Saber shakes Rider off with one kick and, reaching the side of the building, kicks upwards again. Up to the rooftop this time. Rider's a snake wrapped around the building, Saber's almost an exploding firework. But maybe Rider expected even that. The distance between the two does not change. Rider doesn't let Saber get away as she runs to the side and attacks in the opening as Saber kicks off the building. She flicks Rider away with her sword and jumps into the open area. There's a limit to how much she can block Rider's attacks in the air. The skills that were not even a match before are finally matched on this battlefield. Yeah, you gotta fight, and it like where you fight matters. I guess this is her home terrain. There are no decisive blows in this battle. No, Rider herself is avoiding them most of all. When Saber jumps at Rider with determination, Rider only defends and shows no intention of countering. Rider's just keeping Saber in check as she runs to the rooftop. So there's definitely a trap laid there. Saber yells at her cowardly opponent. As a knight, this kind of a fight is an insult. A battle determines the victor by exchanging blows with full force. According to that belief, Rider's behavior is only an insult. Rider only replies in a cool voice. As she says, Saber is inexperienced in air battles. One could say tonight is the first time she is engaged in such a battle. After all, the knight runs on the ground. They're not the type to stick to walls like the woman in front of Saber. Well, we win either way, but, like, do we really? I guess, the other way. Rider moves higher as if to tempt Saber. She's deliberately constructing the situation. Saber acknowledges that as well. The final stop of this circus. Rider's ideal position must await at that point. Rider's trump cannot be used readily. That is why she's luring her enemy somewhere where nothing will interrupt them, as she is determined to settle this match with her strongest blow. If Saber continues on to the rooftop, she will be in trouble. If Rider's noble phantasm is as Saber believes, there is no way to defend against it. But there's no turning back now. She cannot let Rider or Rider's master be. Not because it is the principle of the Holy Grail War to defeat one's enemies. Saber must defeat Rider right here to protect her master. Because it cannot be helped. Saber herself is amazed, but she has thought at least once that she does not want to push her honest master. So what? I mean, that kind of nugget of knowledge show. So she kind of like respects Shiro's decisions to not be like the driving force in this war and not be like full out attacking everyone. Probably only because of his morals. The two gain altitude. Continuing their momentous clashes, the battle is about to reach its final destination. Okay, interlude out. Yep. Man, that's a good question. I run up the stairs while cursing. Even though I was able to enter the building through the back door, the elevator didn't go to the rooftop. I have to run up the... Excuse me. I have to run up the remaining 10 floors on my own feet. Yeah. 10 floors is not fun. I run up the stairs full speed. I don't know how long it's been since Saber left me. I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet, but that's still too long. Nobody knows what can end a battle. Saber isn't perfect. It's possible that she can make a big mistake and be cornered, in big trouble. So before that happens, if I can find Shinji and make him use up his command spell, there should be no need for us to fight against Rider. He's not going to do that, bro. You're going to have to break his neck. Somebody's near. Is it Aaliyah? My convalescent body aches the more I run up the stairs. Running around the building and up the stairs has me out of breath. I don't slow down, but rather speed up. I have a bad feeling. I don't know why I feel it, but my heart is in pain. It's not a pain in my body, just something that tells me of danger. Saber can't win. On the rooftop is something that must not be confronted. Trying to shake off the bad feeling, I continue up the stairs full speed. Oh, are we still too late? The wind is strong. As soon as I open the door, the scenery of the night town surrounds me. The concrete ground is burned up here and there. It's like an iron plate from a barbecue, making sizzling sounds. In the center, in the middle of the burned up rooftop, is her figure, down on her knees.
Saber!
Shiro, どうしてここに?
Saber has nothing to spare, breathing with her shoulders. The instant I try to run to her, I notice something strange floating up in the sky. No, the overwhelming amount of magical energy forced me to recognize it. I stare up at the sky. The sound of wings flapping. There's something whiter than the hazy white moon. Moon, not noon. Oh. She's a Pegasus rider. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It is a legendary divine mystery spoken of only in myths. I suppose that makes sense. Barely any divinity. Barrier blood. Oh, do we not have the Pegasus? Tough. I thought that's what would be there. Guess not. In the instant Saber reaches the rooftop, she confronts the true form of her opponent. Supporting her falling body with her sword, Saber looks up. A white light approaches instantly. Deploying the wind wrapped around her sword, she creates an invisible wall. Her body is blown away. That which should have nullified any possible impact could not even slow the charge of the Pegasus. Blown away, she rolls on the ground. There's no time to lie down. The Pegasus turns in the air and continues its glide without a pause. She cannot block that blow. The only possible measure is to jump and evade it. But even if she does avoid the attack, the trail is enough to chip at her protection. She will eventually take a direct blow if she continues like this. Golly! The white light comes swooping down. The Pegasus glides down from high above, mows Saber down without touching the rooftop, and returns to the sky. Pursuit is impossible. There's no wall to run up, and even if there were one, no one would be able to catch that Pegasus. Yeah, we just gotta find Shinji and break his neck. That's the game plan. In that inferior position, Saber awaits a chance to counter. Even if it's a Pegasus, if it's alive, it can be killed. The only chance of victory Saber has left is for Rider to make a mistake with the Pegasus's reins.
驚きました。見かけによらず頑丈ですね。あなたは。
A voice from above. Saber looks up, holding her sword ready.
ですが、それに意味はありますか？あなたには勝ち目などない。散るしかないのなら、潔く消えなさい。
Rider sounds calm. A little joy can be heard in that voice.
幻想種だとは睨んでいましたが、まさかそんなものを持ち出してくるとは思いませんでした、ライダー。
A fantastic race. As it sounds, they are beings that exist only in fantasy. Demi-humans like spirits and giants. What Pegasus Knight could she be? I don't actually have a clue, so I'm not even going to try and guess. Demonic beasts like demons and dragons. As their very existence is a divine mystery, it is said that they themselves surpass magic. It is the law that a divine mystery will be eliminated by a greater divine mystery. As magic stored its power and knowledge, the fantastic races stored their powers and their long lifespan. Even if one masters magic as a human, that is only about the last 500 years. For those who have lived since ancient times, a 500-year-old divine mystery is not even worthy competition. But it was long ago when both humans and the fantastic races lived in the same world. The longer lived the fantastic races, the farther it strays from this world. In the present day, the only fantastic race in this world are mere few hundred years old. That is why she thought the fantastic race that Rider rode would be only about several hundred years old.
寝台のものを持ち出すとは随分と業が深いようですね、ライダー。
Yeah, apparently.
ええ。私はあなたたちとは違う。むしろあなたたちの敵だったものに過ぎない。故に私が操るのはあなたたちが駆逐してきたかわいそうな子たちだけよ。
Why do I have a bunch of alarms set? Jesus.
なるほど。歪んでいるとは思いましたが、英霊ではなく悪鬼の類でしたか、あなたは。
Jeez.
せいぜい呪いなさい。あなたでは私の子に触れることさえできないのだから。
The Pegasus rests its wings in the air. A giant arrow that will strike if it sees an opening. Saber ponders, glaring at it. Pegasus itself is not a strong, fantastic race. A normal Pegasus will only grow to the class of a demonic beast of the fantastic race. If that is the case, it is an opponent defeatable just with her invisible air. But that thing is different. As that Pegasus has existed from the time of the gods, it has grown to the level of the fantastic beasts. That Pegasus is nearing the level of the dragon race, considered to be the strongest of the fantastic races. Oof. That thing is almost a dragon? No, its defense is already at the level of the dragon race. Oh, yikes. Because that Pegasus has divine protection, exceeding even Saber, who has the strongest magic resistance. Its charge, emitting vast amounts of magical energy, is like a giant castle wall approaching. There's no possible way to dodge or defend against such a thing. But that is not the surprising fact. That Pegasus is just something that Rider has summoned, and it does not have a true name. For Rider, that Pegasus is just like the dagger she uses. In other words, that Black Cavalry has yet to use her noble phantasm. Oh, yikes. Saber does not think of defeat, even in this situation. Rather, she thinks that her chance will come when Rider decides to use her noble phantasm. No matter what Rider's noble phantasm may be, there is no problem if it is only strong enough to destroy the building. No problem? Saber only needs to go into defense, endure the attack, then slash away at the defenseless Rider. That's right, as long as her master does not appear here. Psych, he's showing up, right now. I look up at the sky. The sound of wings flapping. There's something whiter than the hazy white moon. I almost said noon again. It is a legendary divine mystery, spoken of only in myths. The identity of Rider's noble phantasm. Is that what caused the scorching of the rooftop and drove Saber to her knees? Rider is riding on a flying horse, as befits her class name. I suppose it makes sense. I mean, what? Did we think Rider had no mount? I take my mind off Rider. I heard a sound.
Shinjiか。いるんだろう。出てこい。
I cannot tell how strong Rider is on that Pegasus. I can only tell that the white beast is constructed from enough magical energy to have come from a few hundred magi. It is only natural for the rooftop to be scorched. That thing destroys its surroundings just by running. That thing charges from the sky, there's no way even Saber could block it.
隠れるな。やってきてやったんだ。顔ぐらい見せやがれ。
I'm racing against time here. Rider's noble phantasm has already been used. So, I have to take the last resort of defeating Shinji and eliminating Rider. I hear laughter. Shinji must be hiding somewhere.
信じ
見たかエミヤ、これが僕とお前の力の差だ。
What's the difference? Are you about to get your neck snapped? Only his voice echoes. Calming my impatient mind, I listen to his laughter. Damn, the wind's strong. I can't tell where the laughter is coming from.
残念だったな。格好をつけて余裕ぶってるからこういう目に遭うんだ、間抜け。殺す時はさ、さっさと殺さなきゃダメだって理解できたかい？
Man, I said it even in the moment we needed to murk him. He needed to go.
信じ
Don't rush. Let him talk. I should be able to determine his location if he keeps talking.
けど僕は違うよ。お前もあのサーバントもここで終わりだ。何？これでも知らない仲じゃない。昨日の借りもあるしさ。せめて苦しまないように一瞬で死んじゃえよ。
This is bad. The head of the Pegasus standing by in the sky lowers towards Saber. The swirl of magical energy rotates as if without limit. That thing is going to be coming at high speed. This rooftop will be blown away, leaving no remains.
なーに安心しろエミヤ。お前に邪魔されたけどさ、学校のバカどももすぐに後を追わせてやるよ。お前が寂しいってんなら、クソ鬱陶しいさくらも付き合わせてやろうじゃないか。
Wow.
信じお前
やれライダー。まずはその女だ。跡形も残すなよ。
Oh my god, Shinji.
セイバ
A white shooting star falls from above. I ignore it, but the instant I run to Saber. In that instant... Did he get a glimpse of Shinji, or... Oh no, we just saw the power here and turned around, I hope. A storm appears before me.
セイバ
For the first time, she forgot about her enemy during a battle. Angry at her master for coming to such a dangerous place. Angry at herself for not realizing that this was likely. But all those ideas are driven to the back of her mind. What else could there be? In this dangerous situation, his expression is only worried about Saber.
シロ
Come to think of it, he's always been like that. Even though he knew she was an excellent knight, he did not treat her as a knight even once.
どうやら余興はここまでのようね、セイバー。
Soft laughter. Rider places her hand on the Pegasus's neck and makes it beat its wings even faster.
私の宝具は強力ゆえ、地上で使うには適していない。使えばどうしても人目につく。まだ他にマスターがいる以上、おいそれと使うわけにはいかなかった。けれど、ここなら覗き見される恐れはない。あなたを誘い出したのは、ここでなら都合がいいからと分かりましたか。
We kind of figured that much, but I don't think we expected a Pegasus. Something missing until now forms in Rider's hands. It is a mere small rain of shining gold.
それが貴様の宝具かライダー。
ええ、私の趣味ではありませんが、この子は優しすぎて戦いには向いていない。だからこんなものでも使わないとその気になってくれないのよ。
Brutal. What is she doing to that poor Pegasus? The Pegasus lowers its neck. The Pegasus rages, not from its own intentions, but from Rider's.
消えなさい、セイバー。
Lots of talking. I need water.
たとえあなたが生き延びようと、あなたのマスターは私からは逃げられない。マスターさえ死ねば、頑丈なあなたもそれまででしょう。
That is absolutely true. Rider's noble phantasm will completely blow away this rooftop. If she hurries, she'll be able to get Shiro and get away from the rooftop, but Rider's attack won't destroy just the rooftop. Her master's not strong enough to survive a collapsing building. So, for Saber to protect her master, she has to slay that enemy along with the Pegasus. She has no time to decide if her choice is the correct one. She looks at her distant master one more time. He's gritting his teeth, trying to fulfill his role.
風よ
That makes her hesitations go away. She forgets about everything that must happen in the future. She's only her master's sword now, and exists only to defeat the enemy.
やれライダー。 まずはその女だ。跡形も残すなよ。
An annoying voice shouts out. As it does, the Pegasus flies up even higher. It disappears from view in an instant. The Pegasus that flew up into the air has already lost its form. After rising as if to strike the moon, it arcs and returns towards the earth. A comet sweeps down. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That thing looks like a comet. Even after it becomes an arrow of light, Rider still pushes the Pegasus. There is only one target. She will destroy her enemy along with this isolated garden in the sky.
ベルレ
The name is cast. A noble phantasm bears a miracle that is released by casting its true name. And if a miracle is a disaster that should not occur in this world. It is truly a divine lightning. What the heck? A flashing thunderbolt. Watching it, her eyes show no emotion.
この場所ならば人目につかないと言ったな、ライダー。
The wind is unraveled. The wind centered on her turns into a raging tempest.
同感だ。ここならば地上を焼き払う憂いもない。
Golly, they're going all out here. Ain't no holding back. The seal is broken, releasing many layers of wind. Her sword makes its appearance. A storm is rising before my eyes. A white light comes bearing down. Even though she is its target, Saber does not move.
Saber!
The raging wind is coming from her. No, not from Saber, but from the sword she is holding. Jesus. Oh, hey. Her sword is taking a physical form that we can see. I want to hear the music, but this wind is so loud. I doubt my own eyes. I can see the sword that should be invisible. Slowly, as if taking off bandages, her sword starts to show its form. Whoa, golden swords are trash. That thing has no durability. That should have been netherite. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. Raging winds. Many seals develop as if a box is opening. The wind melts into the air. Readying the exposed sword, she faces the descending Pegasus. What the heck? Oh my god. Fully unleashed Saber versus fully unleashed Rider. Jesus Christ. I don't think I've heard this song yet. Rider descends as a surge of light. Bellerophon grows large enough to engulf the whole rooftop and speeds up to destroy not only us, but the building itself. This song goes hard. I like this song. I don't know what song this is, but... Jesus Christ! The reins of the heroic cavalry light up the rooftop. Time stops. Facing unavoidable destruction, my mind freezes. But not because of the reins of the heroic cavalry. The converging lights. Its purity is not even comparable to the light of Rider that is merely large. In her hands is an assembly of the planet's light, the strongest holy sword.
X!
Did the building just get nuked? It is literally a line of light. It is a blade of light that slices everything it touches. It slices Rider with one blow, soars up into the night sky, cuts through the clouds, and disappears. I think... if that thing were used on the ground, a great disorder in the land would remain and never disappear. Her sword was not invisible, merely did not allow others to see it. A golden sword that captivates all who see it, and its all too famous true name. Excalibur, Said to have existed in England. It is the sword of the king known as the symbol of knighthood. Yeah, how does she end up with it? The strongest noble phantasm of all servants, sealed in numerous boundary fields. That is Saber's symbol of heroism. How did she end up with it? She's not King Arthur. Right? The rooftop is silent. The wind is gone and nothing makes a sound. I can't approach Saber and I just stand there. I don't know if I'm still confused or if my heart is still captivated by that sword. My mind is acting strange, and only insignificant things come in my head. Why does she have that sword? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. That golden sword is the property of the well-known King of Knights. I try to think how she ended up with the sword, and I notice that I'm trying to avoid the simplest of the answers. There's no need for complicated guesses. That sword has always been hers. That's why her true name is easy to figure out. I don't know what kind of mistake was made, but there's only one person she can be if she has that holy sword. Saber does not move from the stance that completed her blow. I should run up to her, but my body won't move. Actually, was it King Arthur that had Excalibur? I'm gonna feel really stupid if I'm wrong. I don't even remember the legend. Up to now, I only understood in words that Saber was a heroic spirit. Perhaps I realized that she was a hero of the past, something different from me, and I hesitated to go near her. I hear a scream. Yeah, nah. You'll find him. Something is burning in the background. What do you think is there? I look in that direction. There, I see a book burning into ashes and... Shinji is there, watching the burning book.
Shinji!
He must have realized that Rider's defeated, and he's at a disadvantage. Disadvantage? That's putting it lightly, bro. Shinji turns his back to me as if to flee, and runs towards the exit. Shinji jumps through the door leading to the stairs.
Mate, Shinji!
I can't let him go now, but the instant I start to follow him, out of the corner of my eye, Saber collapses. My mind freezes. Shinji is running away, and Saber is on the ground. Oh, Lord. Follow Shinji. Whoops. Or run to Saber. Okay, are we gonna mess up twice in the same episode? Let's figure it out. Okay, so on one hand, following Shinji and 100% finishing this fight seems like a very wise move. But I feel like we know we have to address Saber like as fast as possible. Although we might not be able to do anything again. So I don't even know if it really makes a difference. Or well, it definitely does, but I don't know that there's one in my mind that's one like better than the other. Like, is running to Saber those few minutes early really gonna change anything? I mean, unless Shinji somehow turns on us and like kills us, right? And I mean, we are pretty sure Leah's in the building, right? In which case, I mean, she could be a threat too. I don't know. I think maybe we just run to Saber and then we have to live with the consequence if that was a bad end again. Hope I didn't get 2 wrong. Hope I don't go 0 for 2. I can't leave Saber alone. Rider is gone, and the book that holds Shinji's command spell is burned. Shinji doesn't have a servant anymore, and he's lost his command spells as well. I can call the match settled. So the priority right now is Saber.
Saber!
I run to her. The golden sword isn't in her hands anymore. It has disappeared, and only Saber herself remains, but... Saber doesn't look well at all. She has a sweat on her brow, and her breathing is weak, yet irregular, as if she has a fever.
そんな、おい、セイバー、何が、どうしたって言うんだ?
Too much magical energy out, not enough in. I call out to her timidly, but she doesn't answer. She's unconscious.
セイバー。
I touch her forehead. I automatically pull my hand back. It's unusually hot. If this is a fever, she's over 40 degrees.
セイバー、おい、しっかりしろ。
Even when I call out to her, her only reply is heavy breathing. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know, but we can't just stay here like this.
うちに連れて行くからな。文句があるなら後にしてくれ。
I pick Saber up. She's light. She was light before, but she's lighter now. No, more than that, she's...
ちゃんと生きてる。
for now. Saber is still Saber. I'm angry at myself for hesitating. Damn it. So what if she's a hero? No matter who Saber is, she's here right now and she's warm. How stupid of me to think there's a wall between us in spite of that.
すぐに帰るからな。それまでおとなしくしてろよ、セイバー。
I actually have no clue who Saber even is. Because, like... Maybe I'm just stupid and I'm missing something. Because I don't know much about the legends, but I have no clue of a female who wielded Excalibur. So unless she's secretly... Who I'm pretty sure is King Arthur was the guy who pulled it from the stone, right? Unless it's, unless she's secretly him, I absolutely have no clue who she is. I run, still holding Saber in my arms. There's no feeling of victory. All I feel is Saber in my arms, breathing painfully. Are we able to get out of it this time, or are we still screwed?
終わったわよ。和室に寝かせてきたけど、あの分じゃしばらく目を覚まさないでしょうね。
そうか。父さん、俺じゃその
This is all the same.
セイバーの手当て。
まあ、鎧を脱がせて楽にさせただけだから、お礼を言われるほどじゃないわ。セイバーの体も良くならないし、私は何もしてないもの。
Wait, that's different. She was the one that yelled at me when I came home in a panic about who to do. Who to do? About what to do. She worked out Saber's situation and advised me to take her armor off and let her sleep. It's been an hour since then. Somehow communicating with the unconscious Saber, Tosaka took her armor off.
それで、シンジを探しに行って、帰ってきたと思ったらセイバーがあれでしょ。一波乱あったのはわかるけど、説明してくれないかしら。
Lots of noble phantasms. I hesitate. Saber's noble phantasm. I should avoid revealing her true name. It's not something I can reveal by my judgment alone.
ライダーを倒した。シンジはレイジを失ってリタイアしたよ。ただ、その時にセイバーがホーグを使って、その後に倒れたんだ。
セイバーのホーグね。
Sorry, we can't tell you. Tosaka falls into a meaningful silence. She's Tosaka, so she should be able to tell that it was no ordinary matter.
まあ、追求するのは勘弁してあげるわ。今のあなたたちはそれどころじゃないものね。
それどころじゃないってどういうことだ？
言葉通りの意味よ。あなただってうすうすは気づいているんでしょ。この
Yeah, this is the same again.
消えるって。
当然でしょ。セイバーは今彼女が苦しんで
魔力がないから消える？セイバーは傷を負ってもいないのに消えるっていうのか？
ええ。サーバントにとっては外的ダメージより魔力切れの方が深刻な問題よ。
I think this is very slightly different from before, but I won't rush through anything that I know is, or that I don't know is the same.
霊体であるサーバントに肉体を与えているのは魔力だもの。それがなくなれば消えるしかない。もっともそんなことにならないようにマスターはサーバントに魔力を送るんだけど、あなたはそれができないでしょ。
I guess we need to find a way to do so.
だからセイバーは自分の魔力だけで戦うしかない。切れたらそれまでよ。こんなこと一番初めに説明したでしょ。
That's certainly what Saber told me.
けど今までは大丈夫だったじゃないか。セイバーだって眠っていれば持ち直すって。
Man, she used her noble phantasm. That like took all of her reserves.
それはセイバーの魔力量が桁外れだったからよ。そうね。確かにセイバーの魔力はまだ残ってる。彼女ならまだ消えずに肉体を保つぐらいの魔力は回復できるとは思う。
Oh, that's a change.
けど結局はそこ止まりよ。セイバーはずっと今の状態で戦うことになる。ホーグを使うなんてもってのほか。次にホーグを使えばセイバーは間違いなく消え去るでしょうね。
次にホーグを使えば消える。
No, first of all, I can't let her fight in this state. I don't want to see her slumped over in pain again.
理解できた？ 結局セイバーを以前の状態に戻す方法は2つだけよ。マスターがサーバントに魔力を提供するか、サーバントが自分で魔力を補充するか。
To have a servant collect magical energy herself. I mean, killing innocent people like Rider did.
まさかセイバーはそんなことはしない。セイバー自身がそんなことはしないと言ったんだ。
でしょうね。一般人を犠牲にするぐらいならセイバーは潔く消えるでしょう。
Definitely would.
なら方法は一つだけよ。セイバーを消したくないのならあなたが魔力を提供するしかないわ。
I don't think she said this last time. I mean, I was saying it, but
それはできるならとっくにそうしてるさ。けど俺は魔力を提供する方法なんて知らない。あいにく遠坂みたいに何でもできるってわけじゃないんだ。
まあね、共有の魔術を教えてあげても間に合わない。シローは魔術師に向いてないから覚えるのに1年ぐらいかかるだろうし、覚えたところで使えないわ。まあ召喚時にセイバーとパスは通っているはずだからまだ他に方法があるかもしれないけど。
so what, are we gonna find some BS way to pull it off? Tosaka ponders, but it's only for a moment. Tosaka looks at me with an expression suppressing her emotions.
いい？セイバーを助けたいのなら彼女自身に人を吸わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。
Yikes.
それはあなたにも分かってると思うけど。
Not what we wanted to hear. That's the most realistic measure. But that means
もちろんセイバーは嫌がるでしょ。
you'd have to use a command spell.
けど放っておけば遅かれ早かれセイバーは消えてあなたは他のマスターから狙われることになる。
I feel like Shiro can't do that either. I feel like he couldn't, like, kill innocent people to save himself. He's not that kind of person. I don't think he would do that. So either this is a bad end, or we're gonna find some kind of, or Saber's fighting like this for a while, or we find some BS way to restore her magical energy. Saber will disappear? I can't even imagine such a thing. I still feel her body heat in my hands, which were carrying her.
なら答えは一つよ。霊樹を使いなさい、エミ役。それで最悪の事態は避けられる。
That means ordering Saber to kill innocent people. I can't say anything. I resent what Tosaka's saying, but at the same time, another part of me recognizes that this is the only solution.
決断はあなたに任せるわ。セイバーは眠らせておけば落ち着くだろうけど、それでも限界は近いでしょうね。決断をするなら次に襲われるまでにね。
Tosaka leaves the living room. I can't even look up. I can only listen to Tosaka's departing footsteps. Oof. That about to say bad end? Or we're just moving to the next day? Nope, next day. Okay, Man, I really don't want to end it there, but... Alright everyone, as weird as it looks for me to be doing a conclusion at the main menu, like I mentioned, I will mention this in episode 14. I actually recorded 13 and 14 at the exact same time. I'm at 4 hours and 21 minutes of recording. So I had to do the conclusion somewhere, and I recorded the conclusion for what, 13 I think is the next episode. I recorded it first. Now I'm doing the the conclusion for 12. So first of all, this episode was insane. The fight with Rider was awesome. It sucks that I got my first bad end. I was kind of hoping that I'd somehow make it through the whole game without one, but that was a tad bit unrealistic, I guess. You know, it would have been pretty cool. I don't know how many more choices I had to go, but probably still a lot, actually. But whatever. Anyways, we had the fight with Rider, and we failed the first time to correctly do this fight. The second time around, we went up, and because of that, Saber was determined to protect us and revealed her noble phantasm of Excalibur. Which, you know, is it's a big one. You know, so much for not being a powerful hero. Like, who hasn't heard of Excalibur? What? Anyways, oh, also, we had the talk with Saber regarding, like, our past, which felt significant to me, that she understands where we come from, right? Not obviously not as significant as us annihilating Rider, but still significant. It's already been 2 hours since I recorded that now, so I honestly don't have much more to say. I mean, it was a great episode. Absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. The next episode will almost certainly be out tomorrow. I see no reason it wouldn't be, because it's already recorded. I hope I will see you guys at the next video tomorrow. Peace.